Okay, Hope Dauda Gaina is my name, the lead counselor and facilitator of Significant Marriage Consult. I'm based in the city of Jalingo, and the Lord has been helping us to reach out to people around the world. By the grace of God, I want to talk about something very important. As I interact with people on the subject of marriage and relationship, there is something very important that I discover has been a source of major conflict between lovers, between couples, between people who are dating, who are courting. And I felt it's important that we talk about this very important subject. It is something that most of us have heard about it, time without number, but it is not enough to just hear about something, but how do you appropriate it into your life that it becomes evident that it's helping you to become a better person. And the subject I'll be talking about is understanding your temperament. Understanding your temperament. It is about defining your personality, defining who you are. Now, someone says that in one of my seminars, someone says that to his understanding, that temperament is the way you are being wired. The reason you act the way you do, the reason you dress the way you dress, the reason you do things differently from every other person. Now, for every one of us that is on earth, that is living under the sun, we are wired differently emotionally, psychologically, physically, and otherwise. What makes you acceptable to some people is the same thing that will make other people to reject you. It all boils down to the issue of your temperament. Now, in a nutshell and in a simple understanding, let me just bring it down by breaking the issue of temperament to the way that you understand these things in a very clear term. Now, everybody that you see on earth belongs to two major groups when we come about our temperamental classification. The first group are those, I know you have heard about it, are those we call the extrovert, and then we have the introvert. Now, these two personalities, which are the major division of humanity, we are further divided into four. Now we have four major temperaments on earth. And now I want you to understand that your temperament is a gift from God. There is nothing you can do about your temperament, but understanding the strength and the weaknesses of your unique temperament will help you to become a better person. Now I'm talking about the further division of the two major divisions of the extrovert and introvert. We have the sanguine, we have the choleric, we have the melancholy, and then the phlegmatic. Let me take it again so that you understand what we're talking about. The four major temperamental divisions, we have the sanguine, we have the choleric, we have the melancholy, and then we have the phlegmatic. We need to understand these things because the reason why most couples are struggling to live together as husband and wife is because of their incompatibility when it comes to their issue of temperament. Someone just asked me a few days ago that should our temperament become a yardstick in making marital choice? And I said it's yes and no. I believe I'm trusting God that at the end of this teaching, you should be able to make a decision and understand what position I'm taking about the issue of temperament. So listen carefully. Now, the temperamental blend, out of the four temperament fall in between the two major divisions I earlier said about the introvert and the extrovert. Now, the sanguine and the cholerics, they are the extroverts temperament. They fall in the class of the extrovert. When we talk about extrovert, we are talking about people who are outspoken, they are people's people, people who are engaging, they are social people in general. The other two categories, which is the melancholy and the phlegmatic, they fall in the line of the introvert. And when we talk about the introverts, we are talking about people who are for themselves, with themselves to themselves. They hardly mingle with people, they are not sociable, they struggle to speak, they struggle to associate with people. Now, all of these things, nobody choose what temperament to exhibit. Our temperament is a gift that God gave us from the day we are born. A father who is a choleric can give birth to a child who is a phlegmatic. A father who is a melancholic can give birth to a child who is a sanguine. This is God's own design for humanity, and your Your temperament is given to you for you to live life better. Now, the identities of this temperament, for us to understand it better, the sanguine, we call them the popular sanguine. Why is the sanguine called the popular? Now, the sanguine temperament is that these are people that by nature they are sociable, by nature they are people's people, by nature they are people that they associate easily. You see, when you see people who are good marketers, people who are good journalists, people who can talk, they don't struggle to express themselves. These are the sanguine. They are very jovial. They are just people, they are just exciting people. They are the party people. They just love life and they love enjoying themselves. These are the sanguine. The cholerics in the other side of the extrovert, they are born leaders. By nature, cholerics are born leaders. One of the greatest weakness of the choleric is that they have immature emotions. They are short-tempered. They get angry easily. They speak. They express themselves with a high tone. So a choleric will always be seen as an angry person, an authoritative person, a person who is strong-willed, a person who is strong-headed, a person which most people will say is proud, because the choleric they speak with boldness. They are people with charisma. They are people that when you just see them, they have this aura. They are people with a unique personality. So most politicians, most pastors, most business people who succeed in the open mostly are cholerics. The third temperament is the melancholy. Now we call the choleric powerful choleric, while the melancholy is the perfect melancholy. Why is the melancholy called the perfect melancholy? In summary, the personality of the melancholy is the personality of perfection. They are perfectionists by nature. They are deep thinkers. They are people who are very meticulous. When you see most successful architects, engineers, medical doctors, people that love engineering, people that love calculation, most of them are melancholy, because in their nature they love calculation. In their nature they are deep thinkers, they are critical thinkers. So this is who they are. That would fail me for me to go deeper into explanation of this the temperament. But the last of the temperament is the phlegmatic. The phlegmatic, we call them the peaceful phlegmatic. They are called peaceful because by nature they are peaceful demeanor. They are people who are sluggish by nature. They are people who can sacrifice their joy for peace to reign. They are faithful friends. When they stick to one person, they are not ready to let go. These are people that they love office work. Even if there is something that they can do, they will never volunteer until they give them a push. So a phlegmatic by nature, they are people who are quiet. When you see people who are extremely quiet, they are phlegmatic by nature. So let me just run through the personality once again for you to have a better understanding. I said number one, we have the popular sanguine. Number two, we have the powerful choleric. Number three, we have the perfect melancholy. And then number four, we have the peaceful phlegmatic. I know while I'm explaining, you'll be thinking, okay, I have one or two. It's as if there are two or three temperaments that are exhibiting in my life. Now, it's important to know that no person have just a singular temperament to himself. The temperaments are always blended. And we have about 15 different blends of this temperament. So we started by saying that we are categorized into two, the extrovert and the introvert. These two temperate personalities are further divided into four, which we say we have the powerful, we have the popular sanguine, we have the powerful choleric, we have the perfect melancholy, and then we have the peaceful phlegmatic. These four temperaments are further divided into about 15 different personalities. That time will fail me for me to go into that, but you can read different materials. You can pick my book on which I wrote about Singles Pathfinder. Now, Singles Pathfinder is a manual for single people who are trusting God to have a place in life, who are trusting God to settle down as husband and wife. Also, one of my book, Definition. In Definition, I wrote about a chapter which I talk about defining your personality. In that chapter, I talk about all the different blends of the personality. Now, it is not enough to talk about that, but there is something very important I will talk about for us to have a better understanding of the things that are happening. Have you heard about the word that opposite attracts? Yes, what that means is that an opposite temperament get attracted to another opposite temperament. But something I've discovered over the years of counseling with couples and people who are preparing to settle down, I discovered that the same thing that attracted you to your partner, if not well managed, will be the same thing that will put you apart. So while I see people drawing the line of divorce, husband and wife saying we cannot stay together, when you are able to dig through their history, their marital history, from their relationship, you discover that what attracted them to each other is the opposite of their personality. Now, let me just make this example. You will discover that a popular sanguine who is a presence person will be more attracted to a phlegmatic, which is a quiet person. Why? Because the sanguine have the power, have a vocal power. The sanguine can talk, so the sanguine need a partner that will sit down and listen to their noise. Imagine a sanguine who will listen to another. A choleric will always want to get engaged or get married to somebody with the introverted temperament, because he wants somebody who will submit to his authority, someone who will submit to his power, someone who will follow his leadership qualities and ability. So whatever be your temperament, you need to understand that you will likely fall in love with somebody who has an opposite of your temperament, because the goal of relationship and marriage is that we should be able to complement each other. If people say you are bad, if you have lost one or two relationships because of your character, your attitude, you need to check your temperament. It is possible that your inability to manage the weakness of your personality is the reason why people turn their backs against you. Because for every personality, no matter how appreciable a personality looks, you need to know that every personality have its own weaknesses. And the reason why people fail in life, people fail in relationship, is because we project our weaknesses more to the detriment of the strength of our personality. So I pray that you will trust the Lord, and that you are going to be deliberate about your life to discover who you really are. Because until you know your temperament, until you know your personality, you are yet to start living. I pray God is going to help us in the name of Jesus. You can subscribe to this channel, Significant Life Talk Show, and I will keep bringing series of this talk in a piecemeal for us to understand and have a better life. See you next time, and the Lord bless you.